All right, guys, so we've arrived at our first challenge. Every once in a while, I'm going to ask you to figure out a problem or do something using the stuff that we've already learned, okay? I'm not going to ask you in any challenge to do something that involves something we haven't done yet or haven't learned yet. Now, if you feel stuck or you can't figure it out on your own, that's absolutely fine. I'm going to walk you through the solutions so that you can really understand how to solve the problem. Now, this one is the capitalized challenge. So basically what I want you to be able to do is take a string with a single word and just make the first letter uppercase. We know we can do so I could do my string dot two lowercase, which would make it all lowercase, or my string dot two uppercase would make it all uppercase. I want you to just uppercase the first letter. Now, it doesn't have to be a string with multiple words where you uppercase the first letter, because in order to do that, you have to understand some type of iteration, and I haven't gone over any loops or anything like that, so I'm not going to ask you to do that. If you already know that stuff and you want to do that, that's absolutely fine. But yeah, I just want you to basically take this my string, which has a string of developer, or it could be any word, and when you console log my new string, which should be a variable you create, that has the uppercase D for developer or whatever the word is. Now, just to give you some hints, because this is all stuff we went over, you can use the char at method, which will give you a character at a specific index. You could also do this format where you have, my string and then brackets and 0, 1, 2, 3, etc. So you know how to access the first letter. And then you also know how to make all of these everything uppercase, and then you also know how to basically pluck out stuff from the string, okay? Take strings from a string using either the substring or slice methods, okay? So using this stuff here, you should be able to, come up with this my new string, which will have an uppercase for the first letter. All right, so go ahead and pause the video now and try and do that on your own. So now what I'm going to do is close that up, and we're going to go ahead and solve this challenge. And I just want to open up my console over here as well. So we know that we have a variable called myString, and that's set to a single word that's all lowercase. We're going to use developer. And then I'm going to have multiple solutions, but they're all going to be very, very similar. So I'm going to initialize my new string. And let's say this is going to be solution 1. So we want to take my new string, and then I want to set that to my solution. Now, let's remember the hints. Char at is used to get the character at a certain index. You can also use the bracket syntax, and we know we want to get the first thing here, right? First character. So let's say my string, and then let's use char at, and let's say 0. Okay, and then let's just do a console log down here of my new string. And the goal of this is to get my new string to be the word developer with an uppercase D. So we know that we can get the first character like this. Now let's take that first character and make that uppercase. So we can do that by chaining on to uppercase, right? So if I do that and I save, now we have an uppercase D. So what we need to do now is basically just take the rest of the string, not including D, and concatenate it onto it. So let's go ahead, and I'm just going to close that up. Let's concatenate, and then I'm going to take my string, which is developer with a lowercase d, and I'm going to use substring. Okay, so I'm going to say substring, and I want to get just developer, okay, no D. So what I can do is just put a 1 in here, because what that'll do is take the 1 position, which is E, remember it starts at 0, and it'll get that over. All right, so now if I save this, I'm going to get developer with an uppercase D. Now, the other solutions we can use are going to be very similar, so let me just copy that down. We'll say solution 2. And then the only change I'm going to make here is instead of using char at, we can just use the bracket syntax. So we can say my string, and then we want to get 0. We're going to uppercase that, so that makes the D uppercase. And then again, we're just going to tack on or concatenate the substring, which is the rest of it, the developer. If I save that, we get the same thing. So let's grab these and copy these down, and then this is going to be solution 3. And in this case, what I want to do is, instead of concatenating, I want to use template literals. So I'm going to get rid of the plus, and basically what we have here are two different expressions, right? The first one gives us uppercase D, the next one gives us developer. So I'm going to take the first expression, and let's put our backtick here, and we're going to wrap this first expression in curly braces. Okay, and then the second one here, we're going to wrap that as well. So that ends here, and then we want to make sure we put the ending backtick on, and we don't need to put a space here. So if I save that, we get developer. If I were to put a space here, we'll get uppercase D and then developer. And another thing we could do is, instead of using substring, we could use slice. Okay, so it just shows you that there's multiple solutions for everything, really. And there's a lot more solutions you could have, including stuff that we haven't gone into yet. But as I said, when I have a challenge for you guys, it's going to only include stuff that we've already gone over. Now, if you wanted to uppercase the first letter of every word, you would have to iterate through it somehow. And we haven't gone over like for loops or for each or any of that. So, we have gone over turning a string into an array, so you can take that as a clue, as a hint, if you do want to try it on your own. But that's it for this challenge. Let's go into the next video.